Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy SoSo, in case you ain't know so, and welcome back to another dope episode of Sports with SoSo. Coming to you live, y'all. This week, the Heat earn another trophy in Boston as they get ready for the NBA Finals. The Panthers, they find out who they get to face in the Stanley Cup Finals. And we got a recap of the Miami Golf Bros Open 2023. It's time to take a ride, y'all. Let's go. Damn, dog. We've seen a lot of each other lately, dog.
A little too much, dog. A little too much.
A little too much. So? What's going on, my brother? How you living, dog?
Oh, man. Much better now, bro.
Right?
Back home. I'm a victor.
Congratulations.
This is just part of the winning culture here in South Florida, you know what I mean? So I had to go out there and, do my thing the way that our teams have been performing as of late.
I mean, when you live in a city that's full of teams that are competing for championships, it's only right that you compete for championships yourself. You know what I'm saying? And, yeah, bro, it was an amazing weekend. What an event. And for sure, we're going to break it down in full in the next couple of minutes here. What an amazing weekend for real, man. We got to experience some pretty highs and some pretty lows this weekend, bro, with our Miami Heat. And, man, watching that Game 6 loss, dog, as we were watching it all together in the room just chilling. Shout out to all the boys.
Not just Game 6, though. So
Game 5 too, man.
We suffered 2 losses together, all of us together, bro.
One room. Well, not full, 99%.
Yeah, Frank, where were you? Jeez.
No, 98% because the other 1% was rooting for the fucking Celtics.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Danny, who's not really a Celtics fan, but is just more so of a Heat hater.
Yeah, man. There are a lot out there, man.
And needless to say, he's rooting for the Nuggets this coming series.
Facts. And, yeah, bro, that Game 5 loss was rough. Because we knew that Boston was going to come out with energy and play well, and that's exactly what they did. They came out there, they really balled out. He really didn't put anything together. We looked bad. Bam didn't play well, right? And I don't want to say we could see the loss coming, right? But that environment, being on the road and stuff like that shit was going to be hard.
Yeah, we knew we were up for a tough task, bro. I mean, we were asking for a sweep.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we're talking about the number 2 seeded Boston Celtic team that we lost to on one shot last year to go to the finals, basically.
Right.
So it's like, we had a feeling it was going to be tough to get the sweep done. And that was okay to lose that game. But it was the one I hurt the most, man, was that Saturday night game, man.
That shit really did hurt, dog.
That one hurt the most, man. And just the way that it ended, really.
That Thursday night game was rough. It was really rough to watch and to endure. But then we thought about it and we were like, all right, we're going to recoup, go out there and win Game 6 on our home floor, right? Take care of business and get some rest before we face the Nuggets. Didn't work out that way, right, unfortunately. But the way that the Heat played, they showed a lot of their resiliency, a lot of grit, right, coming back from being down for a good stretch of the game. And then we saw Bam have a bad performance, right? Only had, I think, 7 shots or something like that, which is abysmal. We need that guy shooting the ball 15, 20 times a game.
Great word there.
You like that, huh? That whole game was kind of weird for us, dog. And, yeah, we hit some big shots.
We looked nervous.
We were nervous,
Jimmy was hesitant. He wasn't going up strong. He was pumping, and then would go up, not looking like himself. We really weren't clicking, and even we still managed to make a comeback and get in the mix all the way towards the end.
On the strength of the whole entire team being defensively sound. I told you this before the series even started, that I thought that we were the better defensive team, right? And it's been proven so far. It's been proven through those 6 games because every time we beat Boston, we beat them handily. 2 times that they beat us, they didn't really beat us handily, and we were kind of in it until like the 4th quarter or mid-3rd quarter, and then it was a wrap. But with Game 6, we got that control back. We make the comeback. We hit some big shots, right? Duncan hits his big shot. Jimmy comes down, makes some big free throws. Bam, he did the best that he could defensively. He did the best he could.
You can look back though, and there was a couple of mishaps there as well for us. You know, we weren't getting some calls. That was a big topic of discussion in the room that night. You know, between us, you know, all being Heat fans, and you know, we're asking where are the calls. You know, we're at home. You know, we should be getting these calls, and one person in the room going, "Oh, you guys want every single call? Stop crying." But you know, we also missed opportunities too on our own, man. Where you know, Duncan Robinson in that one play where wide open 3-pointer, he hesitated for a moment, took a dribble, you know, and then went up and just completely missed it, hit the back iron and rebounded. You know, that would have put us up 3 points at that point in the game, you know, and it wouldn't have been, you know, a 1-point game, you know, to close out. Maybe it would have been a 3-point game or a 2-point game. And instead of them winning it, they tie it and we go to overtime and maybe we can close out there. A lot of things that you can look at, but the most devastating thing of all was just the ending of that game.
Yeah, you're talking about, you know, making the play defensively, right? For the entire time that they had the ball, we get a good defensive inbound. We actually defend Tatum so he doesn't get the inbound pass, which was huge. They forced the ball to Marcus Smart, who's the perfect guy we want shooting this ball, right, in this type of scenario. He gets a shot off, completely off, and the one place it could freaking bounce to that would favor the Celtics, it bounces that way, and it falls right into Derek White's hands, and he just put it up right before the clock. 0.3 seconds. 0.3 seconds left in the game, and he got it off.
It sucked the air out of the room.
Out of Heat fans. Not necessarily the Heat players. Out of the Heat fans for sure, because we had just done all this work, right, to win this game at home and really put the series to bed. And now we're putting ourselves in a situation where we got to go on the road to get a Game 7. But, you know, I'm sure anybody who's a Heat fan has seen it this week already, right? The clip of Jimmy Butler, the dude's that jersey you're rocking. His statement from last year's press conference, Game 7, where we lost, right? On the last second shot, he's like, we're going to be here next year and we're going to be better for it. And damn it, that dude was right. You know, Jimmy came
like
out.
An oracle.
You know, I don't know about all that, but
he called it, dog. I mean, he's going to be in the same exact situation, Game 7, right, but we're going to close out.
Yeah, and the Heat walked away with a easy 103-84 victory, right? Which was not how we thought it was going to be, but we were obviously excited that it did go that way in that blowout fashion, and just the way that everybody played. You know, we knew that there was going to be a lot of give and take. Right, we knew that the Celtics were going to have an answer in the second half, no matter what happens in the game. Right, they were going to make a second half run because that's what they're about. And the Heat, bro, not only did they get off to a good start, they really dominated that game front to back. Right, we were able to get the shots that we wanted to get, and we knocked them down, mostly from the 3-point shot, which obviously flooded the crap out of the Celtics. And I mentioned it on the recap. You know, like. When a team is shooting damn near 50% from 3, you know you're going to have to do a lot of work defensively because it's not the main guy hitting 3. It's all the other guys combined.
Dude, Jimmy was pulling up. He hit 2 big threes in the first half. Yeah. Caleb Martin had threes. Gabe Vincent, the resurgence of Duncan Robinson. Max Strus is in there. You know, Kyle Lowry pulling and popping. You know, we had a lot of guys, man, that were firing, and not just that. The storyline going into that Game 7 was, you know, the officiating. You know, you got Scott Foster, and you also had, I think, Tony Brothers was the other.
Correct, he was the other one.
The other official, and you know, historically, you know, we don't do well when they're officiating our games. The Gale, and we took the game completely out of the ref's hands. You know, we played some really clean basketball. Didn't have a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnovers and things like that, like stupid dumb penalties. You know, the fouls were, you know, they were smart fouls. There really weren't any that like were really egregious. So we were like, really, bro? Like we got some of those in Game 5 and 6 that we were like, dog, you're gonna call that? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And that really didn't happen. I think in Game 7 we played a pretty clean game, and I mean I don't know what the stat line was on steals, man, but we controlled the ball early on as far as, you know, being able to keep that pace up and putting the pressure on them to make mistakes and, you know, capitalizing off those turnovers.
Yeah, we definitely did capitalize off those turnovers, dog, you know, and we had 21 points off their turnovers. That's a lot. And most of them were threes that were hit in transition, or at least it's a 4-on-5. Now they're playing, they can't cover the extra man. Boom, we get an open 3 where a guy like Strus is feeling confident to put up 6 threes and goes 2 of 3. The dude that that we really got to talk about right now when it comes to this game.
Give him his flowers right now, dog. He deserves
more
it.
than flowers, dog. Like, it's unfounding respect and gratitude that we owe Caleb Martin, dog. Because this dude has really taken on the challenge since day one, right? That he was going to be put in a starter role, and he knew that he was going to be put in a starter role. He took that challenge on and was our most consistent player throughout the entire season, dog. Yeah, Bam balled out and was an all-star, but he fell off the second half of the season. Caleb was that dude for us every part of the season.
I'm sorry to cut you out, but I would even go as far as saying Caleb was our most consistent player this series against the Celtics.
Absolutely.
And I would even go as far as saying even slightly more consistent than Jimmy.
Absolutely. I would agree with you, dog. I don't think that's crazy. And in my heart, I felt like Caleb did deserve the MVP. You know? Granted, Jimmy had a great offensive. He got us there. Amazing offensive performance and huge clutch shots against the Knicks. But all throughout that, even throughout the losses, you look at the stat sheet, you look at the impact on the game, and who's playing hard? Caleb Martin is that dude. He's playing like that dude. He's playing like a guy who's fighting for his lunch, dog. You know what I mean? And it's just so refreshing to see a guy play like that, and even more refreshing that the guy's in our uniform. You know, because usually it's guys like Caleb that come out of fucking nowhere, right? Allegedly come out of nowhere and tears everybody up in one postseason run. This dude's been with us for a good minute, right?
2 years.
A good minute, and he has earned every step of the way that he's gone, dog. And for him to be getting this type of love and respect from not only his peers, but like NBA guys starting to take notice of this guy, you know, and say, who the hell is he? Now they know who Caleb Martin is because we got to see it.
Well, we don't know I don't know the details of Caleb's contract right now off the top of my head. I know we signed him last year when we signed him for, I think it was like 2 years, $18 million, something along those lines.
We have him for the next 2 years. Next year, I think it's $6 to $7 million.
No. This was the first year of the 2 years.
Of the 3 years. This was first year. So there's another 2 years. The third year is a player option. That's $7 million.
So we have him for sure.
Or $9 million. Some shit, 14,
for sure for
14,
next
some
year.
shit like that, in that range. Yeah. We have him for next year, and pretty much.
And then he has the option in that third year if he keeps his play going. I mean, if he keeps playing, you know, the way that he does, I mean, just with his performance alone, if he goes out and he has a solid season next year, bro, I don't see why that guy isn't in line to make $100 million the way they're handing out $100 million contracts in the NBA these days.
He would definitely deserve it, dog. And
a 5-year, $100 million contract, I don't see that being too far-fetched for a guy like that.
He would definitely deserve it because he's a triple threat. He can defend, he can make shots, and he's solid at the free throw line. What more do you want? He's a guy he can create his own shot, and when he's really feeling it, like he was feeling it against the Celtics, he's gonna make those shots and really make an impact.
Well, he can finish at the rim, he can shoot the three, you know, he can do a variety of things offensively, and then you talk about the defense, man. You talk about, I mean, this was also going around the room that night, man, and I got to call out Danny because Danny gave us a lot of shit that night.
Sorry, man. Danny, you're gonna have to eat it, dog.
Sorry, not sorry, Danny. Though you got to eat it the way we ate it that night, bro. But you know, he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys keep talking about the Heat culture and the Heat culture." Bro, Caleb Martin is the embodiment of Heat culture. You know what I mean? Jimmy Butler is the embodiment of Heat culture. Those guys right there, you look at those guys, that is what the Heat culture is.
And even if you want to exclude Jimmy from that group, right? You talk about Caleb Martin, right? You talk about Gabe, Struz, Duncan, even Highsmith, you know?
Big minutes from Highsmith in the last couple games.
These are guys that you can just throw out there on the court and expect this level of defense, this level of hustle, this level of knowledge, because that is what Heat culture is. It's not about all the points. We've never been a team, except for the LeBron era with Wade and Bosh, right, where we're like, yeah, we're going to put up 130 points every single night, you know, and you got to score 140 to beat us. That's not this team. This team is the complete opposite. We're going to D you up, and we're going to take your best guy and shut him down. We're going to take your next best guy and shut him down, and we're going to make you have your unsung heroes make big shots like our unsung heroes can make big shots.
Yep.
You know? Dog, that dude, Caleb Martin, played 45 minutes. You know, let's look at his stat line. 11 of 16, 4 of 6 from 3, no free throws, 3 offensive rebounds, 7 defensive rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover, 26 points in 45 minutes. That's a dude who obviously feels confident, but this is a dude who feels even more in place with what is being asked of him and what his role is. Like you could tell he's comfortable, dog. You know, on the court, he ain't second guessing anything, and he's just going with it. And you mentioned something. Now that I say that, you mentioned something earlier with Jimmy. His effectiveness came this game because he went straight up. He didn't rely on that pump fake and shit to try to get free throws. As a matter of fact, that he only had 6 free throws for the entire game. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. And we only had 6 free throws from the entire game. And Bam hit 4 of 4. Everybody shitting on Bam.
Hold on.
This dude made his free throws. And let me say one more thing, just to finish off my point.
Because we got to go into that discussion now.
Yeah. You know, when Jimmy has a 12 of 28 night, 1 or 2 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 28 points, did everything, right? Did everything. The key defensive effort came from Bam. Bam not only had to fight with Robert Williams and box him out and Horford and all of these dudes, which he did effectively, which allowed guys like Martin, Lowry, Butler, all those dudes to go in there and get rebounds. Bam did a lot of defensive work as far as getting rebounds and avoiding the Celtics getting offensive rebounds. Last thing I'm going to say on Bam is this. He sets the picks that make us go 14 of 28 from the from the three-point line. He sets those picks. He's the one giving these dudes wide open looks. Yeah, he's not going to get the assist, but that plays a big role in our offense, which is the pick and roll.
That's fine, man. You know, I got love for Bam. He's been spectacular. He's been, our number 2, right? It's Jimmy 1, Bam 2. You know, you argue Heroes 3 right now. He's been overtaken by Caleb Martin.
Yeah.
With Heroes' absence. But, the fact that you're a 20-point scorer historically for the Heat.
True.
Night in and night out for us. You're our biggest guy, our biggest weapon. You're versatile. You can get to the rim. You can shoot those mid-range jumpers. How many points did he put up that last night?
Yeah, 12. But he almost had
so he had 4 points for free throws. So he had 8 points for us in 48 minutes of basketball. 8 points for a guy that's almost 7 feet tall. I get that you're banging down low with Robert Williams. I get that you're banging down low with Al Horford. But there was also how many turnovers from Bam? I can't tell you right now. He had 4 Bro, those 4 turnovers were some of the worst turnovers that I saw in the paint, bro.
Yeah. Okay, it's a third of our turnovers. It's a lot.
That's fine that we had, he did the picks and he did the other little stuff. But I'm telling you right now, so for us to go in and beat the Nuggets on the road.
Yeah, he's going to have to score.
We can't have this shit from Bam, dog, and that's why I'm so upset.
I get that.
That's why I'm upset.
I get that, dog. And you know what? I feel you, Heat Nation. You know what I'm saying? You guys feel just like my man Joel right here. But here's what I'll say, dog. If you tell me that Bam goes out there against the Nuggets, right, and limits a guy like Jokic from 37 points a game to fucking 32 points, 31 points a game in a 7-game series, 6-game series, I'm going to say that's more than enough for us to win.
If he's only putting up 8 points every single one of those games?
If he's putting up, even if he's putting up himself? 8 points and he's getting those assists, then yes, absolutely. Because we're fooling ourselves to tell ourselves, hey, Bam, you got to turn it on offensively and go at it. For whatever reason, it's not happening right now. And maybe a lot of that has to do with him giving up his shots. You know what I mean? Like, when Caleb's hot, you feed Caleb the ball.
Yeah.
If Jimmy's hot, you feed him the ball, dog. That game that Lowry was hot, you feed him the ball, dog. You do that. And if you're Bam, dog, you do that because at the end of the day, it helps us win. It makes us more dangerously defensively, and it makes our offense, which has always been a stagnant half-court offense, make flow even more efficiently because now we're on the move, and now our shooters can shoot. There was a lot of times that Bam even brought up the ball, right, in the fourth quarter. They're throwing it in, and they're giving it to Bam, and Bam's the point Bam, right, where he's the one bringing it up, and then boom, and then immediately set the pick to let the offense flow like that and make it easier for us to get matchups.
I get it, man. I know the value. I know his value. I know what he brings to the table, man. It's just frustrating to see your number 2 guy, that's our biggest guy, play so small, man.
Okay.
And time again, I mean, dog, that block that Al Horford had on him in Game 6.
It's embarrassing.
Dog, I know that Bam's mom is still thinking about that block, bro. That's how embarrassing that shit was, cuz. I said, you gonna let Al Horford do that to you, dog? Like that's my thing, bro. Like he hesitates sometimes. That hesitancy that Jimmy had between games 5 and 6 that we saw that he corrected in Game 7.
Yeah,
That was the correction I wanted from Bam. Play with more confidence. Play bigger when it comes to getting the ball in the hoop.
For sure.
I love the intangibles from the defense and from the the leadership and doing what you need to do, but I just want more. And I will say that what I did see in this series that I missed, that we haven't seen in a while, dog, we got to give credit to that Duncan Robinson, Bam Adebayo connection, because some of the biggest alley-oop slams that we've seen in these playoffs have come at that connection right there, more so with Duncan Robinson. I don't know what it is about the way that they run their pick and rolls, but Bam is usually wide open for a nice alley-oop.
I know exactly what it is. Duncan's the real three-point threat. You know what I mean? When this dude is, 2 of 3 from deep in those 20 minutes that he plays, that shit hurts you. It hurts you. It hurts you when Caleb Martin goes 4 or 6. It hurts you.
Caleb Martin and Jimmy Butler combined for
56 points.
56 points?
Yeah. Oh, 54.
That's crazy, son.
It's not that crazy because, again...
It is because it's Caleb.
Yeah, but some could even argue, Joel, that Caleb, like you said, has been our best player this entire series. So then what does that make Jimmy? Our second best player of the entire series, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, offensively, Bam hasn't had to do it this series. And truth be told, his matchups were harder. You know what I'm saying? Those Knicks matchups were a lot easier because a lot of those guys were going to try to, do the dumb shit, and Bam can get away with the dumb shit. That's why he averaged 16 points against the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? That's why he averaged about 20 points against the Bucks. This one was going to be different. He's going up against 2 guys who can really defend. You know what I mean? Horford can really defend. We saw how many blocks Williams got on everybody. There were times that he even bullied Jimmy around the rim. So I'm not making excuses for Bam for how he comes up short at times, right? Isn't that aggressive? We need to see the aggressiveness. That's the main key. You and I have talked about it. Once he hits 20 points, shit, the Heat are damn near winning that game against anybody. Doesn't matter where, when, or what's at the cost.
And we need it now more than ever because this opponent we're going to go face is no joke, dog.
Yeah.
It's no joke, bro. They got firepower. They got the league MVP, 2-time league MVP. You know what I mean? This guy don't miss, bro. I look at highlights of this guy, bro, and I go, how are we going to defend this guy when he can shoot from anywhere on the court? And he's a passing monster. He's an assist machine. So
let's talk about it. What do you think is the best way to defend those guys? Because in my opinion, right, the dude not to take away is not necessarily Jokic.
He's Jamal Murray.
It's Murray, dog. We've struggled against guards, right? We can't let this dude go off because once he starts scoring, then come the assist. Right, because if he has 25 points and it's the third quarter,
we start biting on that.
And then he opens up the rest of the offense. El otro tiene 15, el otro tiene 18. No. We can't do that. We can't afford that. So we need to make sure that we lock him down the most that we can, right? So that means that Caleb's going to get a lot of minutes. That's number 1. Number 2, we got to win the second unit, quote-unquote, battle. That's the battle we got to win. Every time that their star and our stars are on the bench, Bam is sitting, this dude is sitting, all right, cool. Those are the minutes we got to win. And Sergio, shout out to him. He's always pointing that out when we're talking about and watching the games. Like, we got to win these Jimmy-less minutes. And it's like, yep, we got to get these. Who's on the court? Caleb? Hey, Caleb, go for it. Oh, you can't make it? Fuck it. Give it to Struz. Struz, you go for it. And we go like that. Those are the 2 keys, in my opinion, of how we're going to win this. Dog, the Joker's going to get his, dog. It's like I told you. If you limit him from 37 to 32, that's a win. If you limit him from 37 to 29, shit, you're giving yourself a real chance. That's what Bam's main objective is. Affect that guy as much as possible because he's going to be able to guard him around the three-point line, which is where he does a lot of his work, and on the pick and rolls, which they run a lot as well. We just need help from everybody else to, collectively to win the battle of the boards. Didn't really kill us, and we won games in spite of that. I think we're the better shooting team.
No, but we lost the battle of the boards game 5 and 6.
Yes, and we lost the battle of the boards this game too. But it didn't kill us because we were killing it from 3.
Right.
So that's what we got to do. We got to keep shooting well, right? Whether it's from 3 or not. Keep shooting well. Limit Murray. Shut him down as much as you can. Really make that the effort. Depend on Bam to go one-on-one. We're going to lose that battle 50% of the time. Cool. What we can't lose is the battle of Murray versus our guards. We need to win that because it's not just one guard. It's going to be a combination of guards. It's going to be Struz, Vincent. Who's the guy that I'm missing? Caleb
Martin, and
Caleb's going to
Duncan
cover
Robinson,
him a lot. You know
and then Lowry.
And Lowry's going to cover him a lot.
What I'm interested to see, we this past series, we didn't see a whole lot of Kevin Love, who we saw some really good minutes in the first couple series, and we didn't really see Cody Zeller either, we saw Highsmith come in get some meaningful minutes in these last couple games.
Yeah.
Do we see him more? I'm curious to see what Coach Spo does for this series, man. I mean, I trust him, bro. What I have to say is nothing. I'm here to react to what Coach Spo and the boys do night in and night out. I can't really say, what I think they should do with this matchup. That's for them to decide. All I know is, the way that we've played in the games that we've won, especially, the backs against the wall games, the closeout games.
True.
If we just look at this series like, hey, every game is a closeout game, backs against the wall, going home if we don't win this one, I mean, I think we have a good shot, man. I don't think it's going to be easy by any means. I think this is the hardest task we faced all year, all playoffs. So we're I think the team is focused. I don't think they're going into it thinking that the Nuggets or anybody is going to lay down, especially on a week's rest before their That's finals debut.
Huge.
I think right now they're obviously going to be the favorite. I mean, considering we were only given a 3% chance by ESPN against the Celtics, Lord knows what our chances are right now. As far as ESPN and Vegas are against them, but it's like your shirt says, so. Miami against everybody, dog.
Shout out to Empire. Shout out to Steve, man. Yeah, it's Miami versus everybody for sure. Obviously, nationwide, people are picking the Nuggets. We're okay with that.
Always.
Spo would always be okay with that, so I'm okay with that. And I think that, some of the matchups definitely favor us, dog. And the Heat are not here by happenstance, dog. The Heat are here because they deserve to be here, and they've done really big things and great things to get here. You beat the Bucks team, you beat a Knicks team, and then you take out a Celtics team. You deserve to be in the finals.
You beat the 1, 2, and the 4 seed, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't just beat...
I think the first ever or second ever
East eighth seed to make it to finals. The first one was the 99 Knicks over the Pacers that year. Also, another cool moment. Bam's holding the Eastern Conference Finals trophy, tries to hand it over to Jimmy. Jimmy didn't even have an ounce of excitement in his face. It's like Jimmy's demeanor is that of like a kid that's playing a video game, right? And he has to beat a really hard level to get to the next one.
Right.
And then it's like that, right? You beat a hard level to get to the next one, and then you got to beat that one to get to the next one. But if you don't beat it, you start over at the first one.
Yeah.
But to somebody brand new starting it, it's like when they beat that first level, you're like, oh my God, you beat it? You're like, I've been here before, dog. It's not the one that's not the one I got my eye on. I'm looking at the final one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I need to get through all the levels right here. And that's exactly what he did. He was like, nah, man, I'll hold the next one, is what he uttered under his breath.
And you said that demeanor, I think it's just the belief and confidence that he's playing with right now, that the team is obviously playing with right now. And they have a lot of that because of Spo, and the type of game planning that goes down. The assistant coaches that we have are amazing, and these guys really do make it a team effort, dog. A lot of these Heat wins are team efforts, dog, where you get multiple guys in double figures as far as scoring, and that's the way it's got to be for the Heat. And I think that has to be. And I think that trend continues. I know that everybody nationwide, and fuck them, because they're not real Heat fans like we are. Like, they're picking the Nuggets just based off stats. Portnoy. Yeah, fuck that guy for life. They don't know that we're at a certain level, right? And right now, the Heat are playing at a level where we really can be tested and are still going to be, confident in any situation that we're in. That's why I'm giving us a chance. We're going to win this in 6-7 games without a doubt, dog. Without a doubt.
I think it's going to go the full 7. But, of course, dog. I mean, I wouldn't be wearing this jersey right now.
Chico, we're going to go out there and win game 1.
Have full confidence in our team. And what did you just say?
We're going to go out there and win game 1.
That was something I was going to ask you. We've won every single game 1 so far this postseason. All of them have been on the road.
We're going out there and winning game 1, dog.
You heard it right here. Upset.
It's not an upset. It's just that something that we've done, though. But we've done it.
It's not an upset for us. It's just what we've done.
It's what we do, dog. This team does that. Game 1, man. Thursday. I can't wait.
Tip off 8:30.
The first of the month. Starting off.
June 1st.
Yeah, man. Game 2, Saturday. And then we'll be back in the booth.
One other thing before we jump off this Heat topic.
Tuesday.
Tyler Hero has been made available to resume basketball activities. We need as much firepower going into this game. How do you feel about Tyler Hero's return?
I like it. I think it's extra firepower for the bench. You know, I wouldn't necessarily get him in those starter minutes, but I see him right now at this point like a better version, obviously the ultimate version of like a Struz, Gabe Vincent game, Duncan game, where this guy gets hot and here's 25 points, you know? And I just don't think that it'd be fair to him to just throw him into the starting lineup and asking him to play starter minutes. But it'll also throw off our chemistry, right? We got to work with a lot of the stuff that has been getting us there. But knowing how Tyler Hero is and how much he's bought into the culture and knows what the assignment is and what's at hand here, he lost that bubble finals, so he knows what's at stake. He's not a guy that's going to say no to any role that Spo gives him. You know what I mean? So I think him coming off the bench as a sixth man, seventh man is so deadly. Part of winning that second unit battle. Who the fuck are they bringing in that's as good as Tyler Hero, dog? Not as good. What we've seen is the spark come from a guy named Kyle Lowry. Now, if you're telling me the spark is coming from Tyler Hero and Kyle Lowry is going to be feeding Tyler Hero, I'd rather have that. You know, where Tyler can put up his shots and not worry about Jimmy or Bam or these guys getting touches. He's going to go out there and shoot it, you know? And that's a dangerous weapon. He's an X factor for us.
Yeah, I'm curious about the chemistry and how that's going to be impacted, but he's a Heat guy. He's been here. We've seen him, you know, win Sixth Man of the Year. We've seen him perform in the finals and stuff. Yep. And again, my sentiment is against the team this talented in the Nuggets, we need all hands on deck. Facts. Everybody we got. And then their cousins and brothers and everybody behind them too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's going to be a full team effort, though.
It's going to be wild, man. Thursday night tip-off, June 1st. June is going to be wild because we have Heat game.
Yep.
Followed by Panthers games.
Yep. And after the Heat games, you guys are going to be able to check out your boy SoSo on the Heat post-game recap. It's been such a fucking good time doing those things after big victories, dog. I missed game 5 and game 6. Sorry, I was on the road. For all those people who messaged me, yeah,
you're not going to do it after a loss?
It's not going to because the Heat lost. We did game 4.
My dog was traveling.
Yeah, I was traveling, dog, you know. And we did game 4 and nobody said shit, so whatever. Yeah, man, but the Heat game post-game recap is going to be out there, and we're going to have some special guests joining us here and there, so make sure you guys are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Tell a friend to hit that notification button so you guys know when we drop shit like that, man. It's going down. Yeah, you mentioned the Panthers making their second ever Stanley Cup Finals. What? Get out of here, dog.
During our lifetime, bro.
Dog, get out of here.
Two of our major sports franchises in their respective championship finals series.
And not only how they, like,
at the same time,
how they got there, dog.
Both, they're mirrors of each other, dog.
Mirrors.
We've been talking about that.
Except for the Panthers.
The way that they
got the series sweep, dog. Like, these guys they saw Carolina was like, yo, we're not messing around with these guys. Let's just, you know, take care of business.
Let's go back. When was the game 4 that we won? Was that last Tuesday, Wednesday?
It must have been
before the trip, before
Wednesday.
Wednesday because
Thursday. Right. It was Wednesday because then that was the closeout game, I think. And we knew that they had already advanced.
I'm trying to think about that game, man. So the game was so long ago already, and we already won that I don't even remember the details of it so much.
Dog, but it's been the same thing with this team, dog. Like, they find ways to win games. What was the score what was the final score of our game? I don't even remember. I'll tell you right now.
Was it like 4-2, I think? 3-2?
Nah, we took care of those guys pretty handily.
Why can't I remember?
The first game was last Thursday, right? And then we had the game on Monday before we left for the trip. And then while we were on the trip, that's when they closed out the series.
Yeah, we won 4-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But it's the same thing, Joel. Like, the overtime game was won by guess who? Matthew Tkachuk. Just his third, fourth overtime winner. Like, this dude comes in clutch for us. And what's weird, and I was talking about it with some of the guys on the trip, was like, this dude is going to end up being a top 5, best trade ever in South Florida sports, dog. The fact that we traded for him, and in the same year, we get rid of the 2 guys who are homegrown love-type players. We get rid of those guys for this guy. He takes us all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals, dog. Bro.
That's confirmation.
That's confirmation that this dude is like really a next level hockey player, right? And we've never had a next level hockey player, dog. We've never had a guy who was the it guy.
Yeah, you talk about like Ovechkin or like a Crosby,
right?
Or what's this other guy from Canada? Like it's hot right now. I can't remember his name, but like we've never had a guy like that. Now we got Kachuk.
Yeah, dude, and the way he's doing it, dog, because this is not a team that was just like in the bottom of the rankings and like was barely winning shit, and he came and turned the page. No, this team was already accustomed to winning. Granted, they had suffered bad losses in the playoffs to a championship winning Tampa Bay team, right? But they had suffered those losses and had came back from them to have good season. This season was rough, with Coach Mitchell inserting his game plan and trying to figure out a way to have these guys all find some type of chemistry and then have it be effective in the postseason, which is the most important place to have it. You talk about winning a game in 7 series against the number 1 Boston, right? Then you go out to win the second series in 5 games, only to improve your record yet again and sweep the Carolina Hurricanes to get into the Stanley Cup Finals, dog. I'm sorry, dog, but this is like unprecedented shit, dog.
It absolutely is, bro. We're at a loss for words. I mean, the Panthers' season was literally dependent on another team losing this year, dog. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like it was predicated on the fact that somebody else lost and we got into the playoffs. And then when we got in, we stayed in and we kicked everybody else out. And it's just like the Heat, man. We've talked about the parallels. It's really unreal, Again, we don't know hockey the way that we do know the Heat and basketball in general, but we've been covering these guys now for the last 3 years, and we saw when we got that buzzsaw that was Tampa in the first round 2 years ago, and then we got past the first round against Washington, against the Caps last year. That was like
set the bar for us.
And that point last year, we said, all right, this is it. We need to get to the Stanley Cup. It's Stanley Cup or bust. And dog, this whole season was just a bummer. Like we just couldn't put it together. We was like, man, did this trade really work out? Is this the coach? Are we really, were the last couple seasons a fluke? We have still a lot of the same guys, Barkov, Bennett, Verhaeghe, you know what I mean? Reinhart. You have a lot of the same core group of guys, and you weren't able to put it together. And then lo and behold, you win a couple games at the end when it matters most, and a couple guys will lose a couple games when it matters most for us. And we just backdoor our way into a playoffs and play like there's no tomorrow, because for these guys, there really was no tomorrow, dog.
Nah, dog. And they did, I feel like sometimes in order to win a championship, right, or to be on that championship level, you have to find something deep within you guys as a team to say, we have to close ourselves out from the rest of the world, really believe in ourselves, figure out ways to win, believe in each other, and trust each other on the ice to make that good play, to make that check, to clear that puck, to bounce back and come down if they have a breakaway. All of those things were happening for the Panthers, dog, and it showed in the way that they won games, right? 1-0, 2-0, 3-2 in overtime, 4-3, right before it gets to overtime. And it just intensifies what this postseason has meant to the Panthers, especially their front office, because those guys have invested in this team, dog. They've really put the work in to put pieces around each other to build this chemistry and have that happen. And then to go out there and make the trade, like you said, and bring in a guy like Matthew Tkachuk and have him be the actual X factor to be like, hey, set this bitch ablaze. We're in the playoffs. It's us against the world. Nobody's giving us a shot. We fought our ways here, and now we're in the position where we can dictate our future. And like I said, dog, they went from winning series in 7 games to 5 games to 4 games. That's hard to do, dog.
No, it is, man. And aside from Tkachuk and the game-winning goals, and our guys putting the puck in the net, man. The other guy that has to get his flowers and a lot of the praise is Big Bob, man. Big Bob has had a huge postseason for us, man. And it's, a couple years ago, it was the, Spencer Knight, Big Bob duo, right?
Right.
We haven't really seen a lot of Spencer Knight this year, in the postseason. It's been the Big Bob show, and Big Bob has delivered. He's healthy. He's I mean, he's still in his prime, you know, as far as what he's delivering for us night in and night out. I mean, I don't know how many shots on goal they had in that last game. I mean, probably every game. I think they outshot us on shots on goal, and we stopped them all, dog.
Dog, this dude is carrying a 93.935 save percentage rate, dog. He's faced 504 shots, dog, and only giving up 33 goals.
That's unheard of.
That's wild.
Those just pure. You don't got to know hockey. You don't got to know hockey to understand those pure numbers right there, dog.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, man. Only allowing 2.2 goals a game. Like, again, you talk about defense, like we were talking about with the Heat. Like, the Panthers' defense, dog, has only been a brick wall because Big Bob, Sergio Bobrovsky, has built that. Sergey has built that wall, dog. By himself, dog.
And another thing,
and reinforced it.
Another thing that going back to Tkachuk, something else that Tkachuk has added for us is the ability to capitalize on the power play.
Yeah.
How many times last year did we have issues where we just could not score on power plays? I think we had the longest streak in the league last year for most power plays without a goal, dog. And that's
this season.
Ridiculous, bro. When they're playing a man down, how are you not capitalizing on that? You don't have to do it every single time, but for you to not do it once, and this year, man, we capitalize on those power plays, bro. We really do take advantage of that stuff.
No, we really have 12 power play goals this postseason, dog.
That's compared to last year, bro. That is leaps and bounds.
That's amazing, dog. And yeah, you need stuff like that, dog, because again, you have the stars, and again, in the moment, like, you want your main guys to be the main guy, and Matthew Tkachuk has been the main guy. We've seen Carter Verhaeghe and his amazing run this postseason. We've seen Barkov hit big goals and beautiful goals, right, in between the legs type shit, backhanded. We've seen all of that. But the guy who's put us, won the game for us, put us in position to win the game, makes the assist, makes the hit, has always been Tkachuk. Yeah. And it feels like you hit those things once every 10 years. And this is it for the Panthers, dog. This is not only an amazing run, which it has been, but it's really like a coming together thing where all the moves they have done prior to this has worked. And now they're in the position where they can reap the benefits of everything they've put in, man. Putting yourself in the Stanley Cup Finals when nobody really had you in it. Nobody thought that you could ever get to that, right? Just a credit to the owner and the credit to the GM for sticking with it. And making the right moves, because everything has worked, man. Everything has worked. Even bringing Big Bob in, right? Because he didn't finish the season. Alex Line did, kind of, right? He had more games to finish the last 10 games of the season. But Big Bob has just stepped up, dog. I said it, 504 shots, man. That's tough to do.
That's ridiculous.
That's tough to do, man. And this guy has really found another level. Big Bob has found another level because that's what he was brought for. His postseason experience, his ability to really step up in the postseason. He has that. And we hadn't seen it yet as a Panther. And, bro, this was the perfect time for him to show it, man, because he's been outstanding for us. And we've needed every single minute of ice that he's been on, man. And it's just been nice. It's been, nice to see the Panthers reach this level. Like you said to begin the segment, reaching it at the same time that the Heat are reaching this level. Like, I think the first time type shit in history, And that stuff, man, is really cool to me as a sports fan, because I love for those moments to happen and be like, yo, you remember in 2023, dog, when we had both the Panthers and the Heat in the finals? Like, not a lot of teams or in cities are going to be able to say that. And now we're one of them.
Right. No, man. And we're facing, I mean, it's funny because, we're both down here, right, for South Florida, both of our teams.
Yep.
And we're both facing basically West Coast teams. We're facing, we got Magic City versus Sin City in one, and Magic City versus the Mile High City in the other.
Yep.
So it's gonna be tough for both of these teams, man, especially with those West Coast travels.
Yes.
Going all the way across and back and all that stuff. And then you talk about Denver and the altitude and all that. I don't know if Vegas, the partying is going to come into play and be a factor for the players.
I don't think so.
In the Stanley Cup. Who knows? It's always a factor when it comes to Vegas.
True.
But I'm really excited, man. I don't know a lot about the Knights. I know that they were an expansion team from a few years ago.
True.
And they've been really good ever since then. Part of the way that the expansion works in hockey that you've explained to me, they kind of get a pick from every team. And I think they even had somebody from our team.
Two of our players.
Two of our real good
players. Including a goalie.
There you go. So, there's some good storylines I think that are going to be developed around this, and I can't wait, man. I'm even interested in looking at some tickets for one of these games possibly.
That'll be dope, man. And it'll be worth the money, dog, to be honest, right? Because how often do you get to say you went to a Stanley Cup final in South Florida, dog?
And saw your team play.
Right? But yeah, for that reason in itself, it's really dope. As far as the Kings go, the Knights, whatever, they're a team that is basically a good team. They've shown that ability to battle back, right? They came back on the Dallas Stars in order to reach the finals and win the West Coast. But I really think that the level of intensity and chemistry that the Panthers have right now hasn't been matched in hockey. Just hasn't. We haven't seen it. No team has been dominant as the Panthers have. And if you tell me you're dominant over a stretch of 3 games, okay. But the Panthers have been doing it for like 12 games straight now.
More.
You know, you come back on the Bruins.
4 plus.
You whoop the crap out of Toronto, and then you sweep.
You weren't dominant, but I mean that led to a dominant. Yeah, so I guess about 12 games.
You're 8-1 in your last 9 games.
Yep. So it's full confidence, man. And
nobody has that. Nobody has that on the West Coast. So that's why I'm saying, like, the Panthers should be well rested.
You know, we got done last week. These guys just got done last night, so they're going to have 2-3 days of rest. Granted, I think they're at home. They have the higher record. They're the higher seed. So they have home ice advantage, but we're well rested. So
we should be good, man. Game 1 is Saturday, June 3rd, in Vegas, right? Then we have game 2 Monday. We'll be recording. We'll figure that stuff out. And then the home games. Yeah, the home games, Thursday and Saturday, June 8th and June 10th. I don't know, sponsor.
We'll see, dog. We'll see.
Hit us up.
Might be dope.
Hit us up. Now,
maybe we'll get the Empire Boutique suite at the game. You know,
we got to pitch that idea to Steve, dog. Yo, let's just sponsor the booth, dog. The whole thing.
The booth,
we'll fill it up with people. Don't worry about that part, man. Oh, shit. Man, I really got a good feeling about this Panthers team. I got a good feeling about this Panthers team. I do too. So make sure you guys are tuning in, man. Now's the time to get in. I mean, you're going to be forced to watch them because they'll be on every other day.
Can you imagine a joint parade? So,
yo, that'll be wild. I'm taking off work.
Bro,
for both,
100%, dog.
100%, right?
If that happens, and
taking the mic out there the whole night,
get the Larry O'Brien Trophy, right? That's the NBA Finals trophy, and the Stanley Cup
right next to each other.
Bro, that's a spectacle.
Pandemonium.
That's a spectacle, bro.
Come on, dog. Come on, Nick. It's gonna happen, dog. It's gonna fucking happen. It's gonna happen.
Speaking into existence, brethren.
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys are tuning in. It's definitely worth the watch. Definitely worth the watch. Now we got to get to the most important part. You know, you're wearing it on your hat. You got the new logo out right now. Go check it out on the Miami Golf Bros Instagram page. It's really dope. I really love that. Shout out to you for putting out the swag bag. You know, I should have rocked my polo, but it was dirty.
Probably
from
dirty from using it.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, it was
what a trip. What a trip, dog.
It was amazing, man. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody that came and was a part of it, man. It was awesome. Everybody that was there was part of the same vibe, part of the same, good time,
What a camaraderie.
Exactly, man. My tagline on the original logo is competition and camaraderie, and that's exactly what we had this weekend, man. We had competition, but the boys, really got to hang out, and that's what we live for these trips, man, is really get together, share some good laughs, make some good memories, some funny stories, things we're going to laugh about for years to come, and we definitely got that. Thank you personally for helping me out with some content out there.
Dog. Yeah,
that was awesome. We got some good stuff. If you haven't checked it out, just go to Miami Golf Bros on Instagram, and right now you can check out the highlights, the story highlights, MGBO 2023. You'll see everything that I posted throughout the weekend there. Some good content.
More coming soon.
Yeah, we'll have some more stuff like the putting contest, which is an epic little event that we had.
Which came out dope.
After Saturday's or Friday's run. Yeah. I can't wait. I haven't looked at the footage or anything yet, but I think it's gonna come out really good. But the swag bag, man, that was a hit. We got there Thursday night, and that was the night of the game or whatnot. And after the loss, it was like everybody needed kind of like a pick me up. Yeah. And I was like, I think this is the perfect time.
Perfect timing,
to bring out this swag bag, that everybody contributed for. And I posted a picture of that, so you'll see that on the Instagram. But essentially, it was the debut of the new logo, which is on the hat. Everybody loved it. Everybody loved the hat. I saw the hat being worn multiple times throughout the weekend by multiple people. Some people didn't, take it off. They always had it on and stuff. So that was really dope to see. The polo was a hit, being a white polo with the, with the black silhouette logo was really, really cool. And I even got you with a curveball because I had shown you everything prior to the trip. And you left it with me. You were like, just give it to me and I'll act surprised. And then I actually did surprise you because there was one thing that I neglected to show you.
Shit.
Which was the custom ball marker that we got.
Custom Copperhead, Innisbrook Copperhead ball marker, man. Metal.
Talk to me. What were your thoughts about that?
I thought it was an amazing final touch, dog. Shout out to 3D.
Al 3DP on Instagram. 3DP Design.
Al, you killed it, my boy.
If you need, machined goods and things like that. He does golf, specializes in golf. So if you're looking for bag tags, custom bag tags, or divot tools, or ball markers, Al's the guy to hit up, man. He's the homie.
Yeah, what an amazing job he did on that. Because the detail on that snake head, dog, is really intricate. You know what I mean? So like,
it's all 3D printed, dog.
Yeah, bro. It's hardcore.
It looks really. Really
I used
cool.
it Sunday.
I used mine Saturday at the Copperhead.
Sunday. I was like, well, today's the day. We're out here, I didn't use it Saturday, but it was really dope, man.
Swag bag was a hit, man. Everybody liked it. The resort itself, I mean, that was the first time, we've done resort. We always do the Airbnb thing.
What a great choice by you, man.
Last year, we had to bunk up. Everybody, had to share beds, with somebody else. And, we're grown-ups, man. Not everybody likes doing that, So I made it a point to find a resort for this year. And I had heard good things about Innisbrook, and it was awesome, dog. Everybody, it was a big campus. It felt like I was back in college again, like people just coming over whenever, just walking in, just hanging out, grabbing a beer. Doors unlocked, bro. Doors unlocked, come in. That was dope. Us having that corner balcony on 18 on the Copperhead.
Super cool.
Being able to look at the guys, that are coming in, hitting shots and, gamble, make bets based on their performance that we don't even know, or applaud them, or like groan, whenever. So that guy lipped out, we're like, oh, he hurt us and shit, you know what I mean?
Give a tip of the cap.
Yeah, the one guy that made the putt and he spiked his hat on the ground. Were you there for that?
Nah, I missed that one.
Oh my God, dog. So these guys walk up to the green and we're all out there, and, they're like, one of them's like, oh, like, make some noise or whatever. And we're like, yeah. And then Rob makes a good point. He's like, bro, he's probably competing against that guy and probably trying to fuck him up, trying to get us to fuck him up, and we probably just did just that. And then the other guy went to putt, and we were hyping him up, and he drains the putt, dog, like a 10-foot putt, and we all go crazy. I recorded that when I was in the stores. He goes crazy, everybody goes crazy, yeah, and the guy grabs his hat, he takes it off, and he slams it on the ground. Yeah, it was epic.
Awesome.
It was awesome,
what a weekend,
bro.
Dog. And yeah, bro, you know what? I really got to compliment you, dog. You did a great job of not only picking a place that really catered to our needs, right? Everything was really nice in the rooms. Everything was very spacious. The convenience of having to just go right there to the driving range or to the putting green and do whatever you wanted to do, right? We had the breakfast included. And the way that you brought everybody together, dog, what an amazing group. And we owe it to you, big dog. So on behalf of everybody, man, we want to thank you, dog. We can't wait to do it again.
And no problem at all, bro. Especially when I took everybody's money in the end too. That also helped. I mean, it was. I heard a couple of things like, man, Joel's putting a lot of work into this. He's doing a lot. Make sure you guys look out for him and all that. And I did that gladly, man, because I really it all came to fruition exactly how I had it in mind. I wanted to do a 3-day stroke play tournament, all different levels, but give everybody a chance to have multiple games, multiple opportunities for you to go out and win. The first day, we do a random draw, and Forte, who didn't have his best round, gets paired up with the low round of the day.
Amazing.
And Rob, shout out to Rob, who had a phenomenal weekend too. And, because of Rob, Forte won some money right there off rip that weekend. You know what I mean?
People had skins.
You had skins, you had greenies, we had longest drives, which your boy took 2 of them. You know what I'm saying?
It was dope, man. It was really, really cool, dog. Again, for people who are looking to get into golf and do things like this, man, like this was an excellent, tipping point, an excellent bar marker, everything was perfect.
More so for guys like you and John and my cousin Danny, who this is your first golf trip experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope that this now set the bar for you guys. And if anybody in the future ever invites you on a golf trip,
it better be at least
they better come correct.
Yeah,
if not, don't invite you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's thought put into this. There's planning. There's careful thought and planning, and there's rhyme to every reason and everything. You know what I mean?
Man.
That I try to put towards it. So I'm happy, man. I'm happy the way it turned out. You know, I'm happy I won. I got the hardware.
Yes, sir.
And
beautiful little trophy too, man.
I can't wait. Shout out to Mikey on that, man.
Yeah,
Mikey made it happen through Trophyland USA. Shout
all the boys, man. All the boys.
But it was a great weekend, man. Great weekend. And I can't wait for MGBO 2024.
Ooh, he's gonna be fire. We were talking about it earlier, like looking. I'm not even gonna say
Gotta
that.
Step it up. Just know that
it's gonna be fire.
I've done this trip now. This is the third iteration of it, and every year since the first year, I've stepped it up. Like I've elevated, you know, what we do and how we do it, and that's just going to be the way that we keep doing it from now on. Every year, we just got to get better. Just like our Heat and just like our Panthers, dog.
Let's go, man. That's the bar, man. So if you haven't already, make sure to go to the Miami Golf Bros YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you got those notifications on because you're not going to want to miss the content that's coming to you from the Miami Golf Bros Open for 2023. And it's time, Joel, to tell a Heat fan.
To tell a Panthers fan.
To tell another Panthers fan.
To tell a Marlins and a Dolphins fan.
To tell another Heat fan about this amazing podcast that we got here, man. We include all sports, all nations, all colors, all creeds. We do all of that here because that's what we do. We're South Florida, and we love to bring you guys the sports scene down here, man. It's your boy So. This is Joel. Till next time.
Peace.